Well, hello.
I was wondering when you were going to start talking. I was like, all right, we'll just sit here in silence. That's cool.
No, so the countdown is supposed to have music with it. For some reason, they didn't have
I was like,
music
where'd the
with it.
countdown? Oh, it's okay.
That was the biggest, most epic fail we've had on this show yet. It
We're off to a
happens.
great start.
It's, this is what happens when I'm this tired. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Inside the Trenches, live with Austin and Jake. You may notice there's somebody missing tonight. I don't know where Bryce is. I don't know when Bryce is.
Fuck you, Bryce.
He might be joining us. He might not be joining us. So I took his name off the damn show for now. I don't know if he's actually showing up.
That's okay.
Now,
We'll do just
Austin,
fine.
I do believe we just finished the most fantastic weekend in all of sports in any year.
Until this weekend.
Oh, see, I disagree.
You know, the weekend of football was great. Watching Lamar Jackson and compete with Josh Allen in a very low-scoring defensive game in Buffalo was a lot of fun. My Packers went and took care of business at home against the Rams.
Yeah, I'm just going to throw that monologue out the window.
And the Saints looked tired against a really ready
or
to
did
go.
Drew Brees look tired?
Yeah, no. I won't say the Saints. I'll say Drew Brees looked tired. You can't throw the ball more than 20 yards on any play except for that one weird Jameis Winston touchdown.
That was a beautiful touchdown.
Yeah, it was a great throw. I wish I would have thrown Jameis in the rest of the game, but because it was Drew's presumably last one or second to last playoff game, they couldn't do that. But no, it's over for the Saints moving forward. Drew's out. They're going to go back to being the Saints before Drew, and it's looking forward to championship weekend. I'm excited to see the Packers play the Bucs at home. Finally, Green Bay gets a home divisional or conference championship like Rodgers has always wanted. So, if we lose, I'm going to be a little suicidal. It's okay. And we get, hopefully, pending hits to the noggin, we get Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, which is just going to be a lot of fun to watch. We're really going to find out who can throw the ball farthest now.
So let's take a step back. And the very first comment we get right here, I was right about Drew Brees' arm. I want to put it on record right now, I was exactly correct about how to stop Lamar Jackson with the exact same player that they used. I got it straight down to it would be Jordan Poyer. Jordan Poyer came up in the box the entire game, and they left Edmonds and 4 or 3 others out back, and there was some misdirection. Sometimes Poyer would hop back there, but Poyer was in the box, QB spying almost the entire game. I call that. I told you, give me the Houston Texans coaching job right now.
I seen your Facebook post about that today. I was like,
nobody wants the job. I'll take it. You don't have to pay me that much. Just like $2 million a year. Easy money.
Yeah, of course. No, I agree. The Bills finally found a way to contain Lamar Jackson, but I think it is more of an indictment on the Ravens receiving core. I mean, those guys that they don't have anybody that makes the defense be honest. Hollywood
at the point
Brown.
Of the season where I get to just say, I told you so. Because, again, I called that. They have no one to throw the ball to.
No, they have a bunch of guys who are kind of the same. They really need a big physical wide receiver that can, like a DK Metcalf type guy, AJ Brown type guy that can, run all the routes and be a safety blanket for Lamar Jackson outside of Mark Andrews, because he has his tight end responsibilities other than just catching the football. So I just think that the receiving core is not good enough for a quarterback whose passing game is never really going to be his strong suit. So you're going to have to spoil him with receivers if you want a dominant passing game in that offense. And I think the Ravens are kind of realizing that. So look for them to draft a wide receiver or sign somebody, a Juju Smith.
Martin said the Cleveland Browns really should have won their game against Kansas City. It blows my mind how that was not a helmet-to-helmet hit when he fumbled the pass at the end zone.
100%.
Okay. That was in the second quarter, I believe?
Yeah.
Maybe the first? Okay. That's not what changed that game. What changed that game was the fact that Baker Mayfield, with 6 minutes to go, couldn't drive the ball down the field and score a touchdown.
Yeah.
That was what really changed the complexion of that game. And Chad fucking Henne, he's just like, yo, I'm not starting next week, and they want to go to the playoffs. I guess I'll just die. And Joel goes and takes a shot, gets the first down, and closes out the game.
Yeah.
Of all people, Chad Henne.
It was. If I would have told you that it was going to come down to Chad Henne in that game, I don't think anybody would have believed me. But he had that.
Chad
one
Henne
really...
was still on a roster, let alone the backup for Patrick Mahomes.
He threw that one really ugly interception. I really thought that Cleveland should have capitalized off of that. I didn't necessarily like the play calls that were coming in after they got the interception. I think it was a couple throws, either screens or kind of throws up the sideline. I would have liked to see them, dominate with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt a little bit more. Don't go away from what you're good at just because you're now in a situation to win the game. You don't have to necessarily take those shots. But it just shows that Kansas City is a well coached team. And when they get into a crunch time scenario where they have to play well, even on offense, defense, special teams, whatever, they can. And their defense came up big, got the stop against Cleveland, and gave the ball back to Kansas City. And Chad Henne did his little barrel roll for the first down, and they were good.
If Cleveland scores on that drive I was just talking about, that game goes into overtime. It's anybody's game. And I say it goes into overtime because with the way that final drive went for Kansas City, the Cleveland defense looked gassed. Yeah, so they were probably going to at least get a field goal.
Yeah.
So that would have tied the game at, 25?
Yeah, or they tied it at 25, or, Cleveland could have potentially won. But,
yeah.
It was Cleveland Browns fans, you shouldn't be upset. Browns players, you shouldn't be upset. You had a hell of a run. And, you guys are going to be in the mix with Steelers falling off and the Ravens not having a receiving core to go far in the playoffs with. They're going to be in the mix for a long time, especially in that division. So I would be very happy and relieved if I was a Browns fan.
I agree. Josh Allen.
Honestly, let's
talk about Josh Allen. He played like a superstar.
He is a superstar. Let me correct you there. He didn't play like one. He is one.
Okay, hold on. Do we need to pull up the article from about a year and a half ago now, after his Thanksgiving coming out party last year, where I called him elite, and I was the first one to do it? I mean, I'm on a roll tonight already.
Yeah, I know. You really, your monologue was just going to be you patting yourself on the back, so I'm glad I kind of.
That's exactly what my monologue was.
No, I mean, Josh Allen's been great this year. If you look, they were the first team in NFL history to not run the ball one time in the first quarter of a playoff game. So their game plan was to get Josh's receivers in space and let him throw the ball, and ultimately it paid off. The Ravens defense was really, really good in that game. They held the Bills offense to only 10 points. But when Lamar gives up the ball and a very costly turnover, and then Lamar gets taken out of the game early in the fourth quarter, it's kind of like they really didn't have a chance. Trace McSorley was not going to get into a shootout with Josh Allen when he's down 10 points. So
can we just talk about how most teams at least wait a week or two, or until after the Super Bowl? The Ravens are like, nah, fuck you guys. You're out of here. Mark Ingram's cut. RG3's cut.
Yeah.
They made zero waste of time. And our buddy who joined us last week, Jay, up in the comments. What's up, Jay? How you doing?
What's up, Jay? Yeah, no, they made quick work of Ingram and RG3. I mean, there's not really a need for those guys. You got Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins has emerged as a star at running back. So they're going to move forward with those guys. They really need to look offensively in the draft, maybe get some other O-linemen in there, and definitely get some wide receiver help for Lamar, because that receiving core is not it. Hollywood Brown is nice, but he's not a number one, and might not even be a number two.
I definitely think he's a number two if you bring in somebody like Juju.
I don't think Juju's a number one, so
I think they would complement each other well.
Yeah.
I don't think Baltimore gets Juju, though. He's probably going to the Jets.
I've seen a lot of stuff about him coming to Green Bay, and I'm just like, I don't think we'd put up with his antics.
You and your pipe dreams.
I want J.J. Watt, too, but,
That's more likely than Juju. We have DeAndre. Josh Allen has been great this year, but can you really call him a superstar after 1 year? Because they did that for Wentz, and look at him now. Terrible.
I disagree because the thing with Wentz is that there were kind of inconsistencies in his game that were pretty evident from the start, even when he was in college. With Josh Allen, even in his rookie year, he had some plays that you would just go, wow, like that's an NFL throw. Like he can make that throw. That's an Aaron Rodgers type throw, a Tom Brady type throw, Drew Brees. And I never really saw that with Wentz until his MVP year. That's kind of when he ascended to that elite status temporarily that he's since lost. So no, I don't think there's any risk with, crowning Josh Allen as an elite quarterback. I think he'll be elite next year, and I think he'll be elite for a lot of years to come.
I can already tell you right now what DeAndre's next comment's going to be. Well, Blake Bortles said the Jaguars to the AFC Championship game once.
Yeah. But he's not going to take them in nearly as many times as Trevor Lawrence is. So that's the difference.
I don't like the Urban Meyer hire. We'll get into that later.
We'll get into that later because that's
we'll get into that later. I like Urban Meyer. I don't like Urban Meyer as an NFL coach. So we'll get into that later. Let's wrap up our divisional weekend talk with we didn't really touch upon Green Bay and LA at all. Jalen Ramsey just seemed to have disappeared.
Did you say something? Did you say a name? I couldn't. Did you say? I don't know that name in this house. I'm a big Devontae Adams fan, and we don't know who that is. He asked Jalen Ramsey. He said, "Hey, cover me the whole game." Didn't happen. Seems like he was ducking smoke a little bit,
You can't blame him for that. That's still going to be
That's still scheme. Yeah, I get it. But
yeah.
But no, it was a good game from Tay. I mean, he wasn't anything crazy, but in the playoffs, I mean, that's all you could really hope for. But I think Tay definitely took a lot of the attention away from Allen Lazard. Tunyon found himself open a few times. And that's how that one throw to Allen Lazard up the seam in the middle of the field. That's you can blame that on the fact that they were more worried about what Devontae Adams is doing, and Rodgers just seen a free play over the top. It was like, oh, okay, boop.
More importantly, do we have the exact? Because not every catch Devontae Adams got in that game was on Jalen Ramsey.
No.
Do we know have those numbers of how that how the battle actually did play out? We know the touchdown was on Ramsey. See.
Yeah, the touchdown was on Ramsey. It was a motion play that was
such good scheme by the Packers.
Believe it or not, they stole that from Alabama. I saw a comparison side by side where they ran it with Mac Jones and Devontae Smith, and it looks identical.
So DeAndre says if Donald was 100%, it would be a different game.
I disagree. Elton Jenkins neutralized Aaron Donald, made him a non-factor, and I think
he was injured.
Yeah, he was, but I think he still would have kept him in check.
Even Aaron Rodgers made hint that probably would have been on the ground a couple more times if Donald was fully in.
Yeah, maybe. Let's see.
Just waiting on the number, boys. Just waiting on the number. Well, he does that. Don't forget to like, share, comment, follow us. Hit that, smash that Twitch follow button for us.
Or your favorite team is going to hire Adam Gase as their offensive coordinator.
I quit. If New England fires or fucking hires Adam Gase, I quit.
I'm telling you, I seen a story today where the Seahawks were interested in hiring Adam Gase as their OC. And I'm like, did someone ask Jamal Adams about that?
Yeah, I don't think that's going to go well.
Yeah, no. If you look at the guys that he's ruined and they leave him and they're just amazing afterwards. Ryan Tannehill.
I was going to say Ryan Tannehill's the number one. Obviously Jamal Adams, but Jamal Adams was going under him. Yep, Parker.
Yeah, no. I can't.
Jenkins did do well against him, even got a 15-yard penalty. Okay.
Yeah.
One 15-yard penalty isn't the end of the world. I don't recommend getting 2 in a game. You might not have a job next year, but 1, it happens.
Yeah.
Do you have the number?
I do not. I can't find it.
Well, He tried.
No.
We know that not all 9 catches that
No,
Devontae
they
Adams
weren't.
had.
But there were a
on.
few plays that Devontae definitely got the best of Jalen Ramsey there. Something that we haven't really seen any wide receivers outside of like Stephon Diggs do to Jalen the whole year. So,
Did you watch Jalen after that touchdown?
Yeah, he looked upset.
He did not. He looked upset at his teammate.
Yeah.
Because if you saw that scheme, what should have happened was his teammate should have seen him running across the field and kicked out to cover Devontae. So at that point, it shouldn't have even been Ramsey's fault. But his teammate, I think it was Johnson specifically, didn't kick out.
No. So Ramsey had to cover him. He already had a couple steps on him. So,
yeah.
I mean,
Martin says if Seattle hires Adam Gase as their OC, Russell Wilson was going to have a tough time under that offense. No, that's still going to be Russell Wilson's offense. It's
still going to be Russell Wilson's offense as long as Russell Wilson's in Seattle. But I don't know how much longer Russell Wilson's going to be in Seattle. That's a hot take. But
ooh, I don't know how much longer Deshaun Watson's going to be in Houston, and that's my shitty segue because we suck at segues.
Not long at all.
All right, so let me start this off by saying you saw my Facebook post. I said right now, hire me as the Houston Texans head coach, and here's what I'm going to tell Nick Caserio to do. Trade Deshaun Watson to either the Jets or the Dolphins. I don't care. Get Sam Darnold back, get Tua back, and then get the 2 first-round picks, plus another first-round pick, a second-round pick this year, and a few late-round picks. Because quite frankly, Houston is fucked.
Yeah, the problem with everything that you're saying is that teams are not going to give up a king's ransom for Deshaun Watson. You know, the more that I've thought about this, Deshaun's made it very evident that he does not want to be there, and he can ultimately choose to just sit out next year if he really wanted to. And that lowers his value as far as what teams are willing to give up to get him, because they know that Houston is trying to get rid of him as long as he doesn't want to be there. So I think the leverage falls in, the team that wants to trade for his lap, because Houston doesn't really have any bargaining chips other than the rights to Deshaun Watson right now. But he doesn't want to be there.
If you got the Jets and the Dolphins now fighting for services, okay, Jamal Adams and Jalen Ramsey both went for 2 first-round picks, and they're not franchise quarterbacks. When you spend your entire life trying to find a franchise quarterback, it doesn't matter the situation. If I'm the Texans, I'm getting 3 first-round picks, or I'm letting Deshaun Watson sit that entire contract. Yeah. I don't care.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would do the same thing. I really like a few teams to sign him. My favorite has got to be the Carolina Panthers. If you look at the young defensive draft that they had last year, getting guys like Jeremy Chin and Derek Brown, Yetur Gross-Matos into the building, that defense is going to be really good under defensive coordinator Phil Snow. And they have a culture changer at head coach. I love Matt Rule. I love what he's done with this team. If you look at their game-by-game score, there really wasn't a game this year that they weren't in. And a lot of that had to do with their quarterback play. And Teddy Bridgewater was just kind of very pedestrian in a lot of the games. He would make turnovers when they really needed him to. And that's something that you could insert Deshaun Watson, subtract Teddy Bridgewater in your first-round picks. And now all of a sudden, with the Saints about to fall apart because they're $95 million over the cap and the Tampa Bay being kind of on borrowed time, that's a very winnable division in a conference that's going to be very winnable soon. So
at 5-11, if I heard the stat correctly, at 5-11, Matt Rule has the best winning percentage of any coach to ever come out of the college level.
Yeah, he rebuilt multiple programs, and most notably the Baylor Bears, who were absolutely horrible before he got there. But yeah, I mean, if you look,
we have a stat update from our boy Matt Boyce.
Gotcha.
Nice to see you here, Matt. 4 of Adams' catches Sunday made when he was covered by Jalen Ramsey. By any chance, do you have how many yardage on those, by the way? Because the touchdown was for 2 yards.
So if you look at breakdowns of the Panthers this year versus good teams, or what we would call good teams, the Saints, they lost by 3. The Chiefs, they lost by 2. They lost by a lot to Tampa. They lost by 8 to Green Bay. and then got blown out by the Saints. But there was a lot of games that they were in there for a long time. That was without Christian McCaffrey on the field. No, you insert Deshaun Watson, and then you bring a healthy Christian McCaffrey back and, draft what you can. That's a good team. So I think that's the best fit for Deshaun going forward. I just don't know if they'll have a more enticing draft pick being at 8 for the Texans to pull the trigger.
If Deshaun gets traded, it's going to be for a top 5 pick.
Yeah.
Hands down, because they're going to have to get another quarterback right away.
Unless you're giving up another quarterback. Like if you're the 49ers
even so,
and you're giving up Jimmy Garoppolo.
I wouldn't take that trade if I'm Houston. No.
Multiple firsts?
Depends on how many firsts we're talking. Like if you want to give me, if you want to pull a Brooklyn Nets and give me the next 9 years of your first round picks, I'm in. I'm going to take that.
Yeah. No, I'd love to see him in Carolina. That's my spot for him. But
so Nick Cesario, being from the Boston area, I know I hear things. Nick Cesario was extremely high on Tua, and the Dolphins aren't high on Tua. So I think that Deshaun Watson for Tua, the number, I think it's the 4 overall for them. The number 4 overall, the second round pick they have, and 2 first rounds after that. Not their second first round this year, but the 2 in 2022 and 2023. I think that package is good enough to get Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, I would agree. I hate the move. Not even for Deshaun Watson, I think it's a great move bringing him to Miami because he can kind of mask the fact that they really don't have that good of an offensive line. Tua's not really that mobile. But I hate it for Tua. I'm a big Tua Tagovailoa fan. And putting him in what I would only classify as a shit show in Houston, it's just not good for him. He needs to be on a team that's got a lot around him because he does have limits physically. I mean, he's not a very strong arm guy. He doesn't really make plays outside of the pocket. And he's still nursing that messed up hip that he did last year. We don't know, how healed he is from that. We know he wasn't 100% last year. So I hate that move for Tua, but it is a good move for Deshaun Watson.
Well, at this point, anything's a good move for Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Now, realistically, where I think Deshaun Watson plays football in 2021, the Houston Texans.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's the blockbuster trade is something that everybody wants to kind of stir the pot with the drama. All these multiple teams that are interested or coming out of the woodwork. I know a bunch of Bears fans want him to come to Chicago. That's not happening. He's not going to San Francisco. I don't think he really fits what Kyle Shanahan does there. I could see Carolina making a move. I could see the Patriots making a move. I could see the Denver Broncos making a move. But will it happen? I don't know. Maybe.
I think the Patriots are going to make a strong push for Dak Prescott because I don't think he resigns in Dallas. I don't think Dallas offers him the money he wants.
Well, the thing with that is that Dallas has lost all the leverage in negotiations because if you look at what they were
they've openly
Dak,
admitted they lost the leverage.
Yeah. Well, if you look at where they were without Dak this year, I mean, they were spiraling. They were one of the worst teams in the league until like the last 3 games of the season. They looked kind of like a football team. So, yeah, I mean, Dak has all the power in that situation now, and they already declined his 5th-year option. So he's set to become a free agent, right?
Yeah, if they franchise tag him for the second time,
it's like a $39 million or something like that.
39, and they don't want to pay him over 35.
Yeah, so it's not.
They would be counterproductive to do that,
especially with the cap going down, and they still need money to fill out the rest of the holes they have on defense, and they won't have the money to do that if they, franchise Dak for $39 million. So I don't know. I could see Dak on the move to New England, and then Dallas maybe being in the mix for a quarterback, but we'll see. Maybe they'll move forward with the good old red rifle.
He's also a free agent.
Oh, never mind. They're screwed.
He signed a 1-year, $7 million.
They got Ben DiNucci.
Is that like the Ryan Finley of Dallas?
Yeah, that is the Ryan Finley of Dallas.
Or the Chad Henne of Chad Henne actually has
it's
like
some little Italian guy that they have playing quarterback.
Well, good for them. They're probably going to look into something else.
I would hope so.
So let's talk about Patrick Mahomes because, us and these shitty segues. Love them. My favorite part of the show. Absolutely love these shitty segues. I got yelled at. Did you not hear me say fuck earlier? Got yelled at for saying a swear, but, at the end of the day, this is my show and I do what I want.
Damn Skippy.
And I'm being yelled at for saying it's my show and I do what I want. But that's neither here nor there. We're going to keep going on with the football before the wife kills me. Patrick Mahomes, who is good at the football. No denying that.
Pretty good, yeah.
She's talking in the other room and I'm just not. The football. He's good at the football. He took a hit in this game that very well could have ended his season.
Yeah.
Or could not have.
Yeah, it was a scary hit. I didn't see it at first until I actually was at work during that game. So I watched it again later in the day, and I was like, oh, wow. But it looks more like a choke. Like, I watched a lot of, UFC, and it looks like he just got kind of choked out, and that's why he was, a little loopy when he was trying to stand up. So I don't know how much concussion protocol he's really going to need to go through. I know that they said he could probably end up practicing tomorrow, but we'll see. Hopefully,
this was broken down today on the Pat McAfee show because once you're in concussion protocol, you can't leave it.
Right.
You can't, and they're saying it's a nerve in his neck, and I have a huge issue with that because it sounds like they're trying to sugarcoat CTE and just get Patrick Mahomes back on the field because everyone knows that's best for ratings.
Right.
But if he can only go start touching the field tomorrow, that means he's still in phase 1 of concussion protocol. And there's 7 different tests and or phases of the NFL concussion protocol. So if he goes and starts, I think it's light jogging that he can do tomorrow, if he can just finally touch the field. And if he feels dizzy, if he falls or anything, he starts over and he's done.
Yeah.
So he has to go through all 7 phases now in, 3-4 days?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, obviously, for the ratings, the NFL does not want Chad Henne starting for the Chiefs. But
the Bills Mafia in the Super Bowl is the best thing that can happen for the NFL.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the Bills.
100%. So we have a question, and we're going to side tangent here because I want to answer this question. Matt says, who's the next coach of the Philadelphia Eagles? Now, before you answer, guys, we all know it's me. Let's be real. Nobody wants the job. Just like Houston, I'm here. I'll take the call. I'll take the job.
I have an interesting take on this. His name really hasn't been thrown around, but I'd love to see Lincoln Riley.
His name was thrown around at the beginning, but then Josh McDaniels overtook
I see a lot of McDaniels too, but I'd much rather see Lincoln Riley due to his connection with Jalen Hurts. He made Jalen Hurts look like a stud at Oklahoma after he kind of fell from grace in Alabama. So I would love to see Lincoln finally make his NFL, push.
The issue with that is they got rid of Peterson, and it's going to be strictly on the sole decision of the owner says, no, we're sticking with Carson. So now the new coach has to come in and be ready to stick with Carson, which is where I think McDaniels will do better than Lincoln Riley.
Yeah, I just don't know how you could stick with Carson. I don't know how he can want to be in that building anymore. He's 27 years old.
If his issues are really only with Doug Peterson and not management like Deshaun Watson is, then I can see how he'd still – Doug Peterson's gone. You're the starter. You're our guy, no matter who we hire, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, I mean, Doug Peterson's gone, but the statue of Nick Foles outside of Philadelphia Stadium isn't. He's always going to feel like second best to the fans and the people around Philly. So I think he just needs to get out of there. I really would love to see him find his way back to Frank Reich in Indianapolis and just move forward with Jalen Hurts.
GCS an article plug right there, by the way.
Oh, nice. From our resident Eagles fan.
Yeah, well, that was about Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, but we're
God,
talking
did you not
about the
read
Eagles.
The link?
But it was Matthew. He's an Eagles fan.
He is an Eagles fan, but he sent the link like 10 minutes ago at this point.
Okay.
I just haven't brought it up until now because, I like to space out my comments. They kept the wrong QB. That was Matt's reaction.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how you I just Carson needs to get out. No more Carson. You have something there with Jalen Hurts. You can't play them both at the same time. So I would move forward with Jalen Hurts.
You could. You could play them both at the same time.
But there's
it would be a wild new innovative system in the NFL for a team to do that like full time. But you could do it, and that could be dangerous. It's half stupid because you take away a blocker or a receiver or something. But hey, you also had Jalen Hurts who can run the ball. So you come to a point where if Jalen Hurts gets the ball, he's probably running. If Carson gets the ball, he's probably passing.
Yeah, and I don't even know how much I want Carson passing. So
I fully agree. I don't think Carson should pass anything.
Yeah. No, I think you got to move forward with Jalen. You got to get Carson out of the building. So I think it's a bad move by Eagles upper management. Howie Roseman's kind of dropping the ball in this one as much as I give him credit, which I don't know why I give him so much credit. He's just kind of regarded as one of the better GMs in the league. But this decision I'm not with.
Martin coming in with fire over on Matt. Oh, they did not, Matt. Nick Foles is absolutely nothing as a starter outside of Philly, and he is nothing outside of backup QB.
Yeah, no, Nick Foles had that one magical run, but no, he's garbage. Don't get me wrong, he went to Chicago, and they're equally garbage. So, it was garbage meets garbage. But he had that little run in Jacksonville. No.
I'm telling you right now, Matt, that would not actually work in the NFL. Under any circumstance, the two QB setup, no, that would not ever work.
No.
Maybe in college. It could work in college.
Jake would get fired like week 2.
Maybe 1.5.
Yeah. Yeah, you
I got
probably
this
wouldn't
awesome
make it.
offense, guys. Here it is.
2 quarterbacks. We don't need a right tackle anymore, just 2 quarterbacks.
Get rid of the tight end. They're useless anyway. Bye, Zach Ertz.
Oh, honestly, they need to move on from Zach Ertz, but
I think he's on his way out of town.
Yeah, get a little package deal for him and Carson to the Colts.
I don't think Ertz follows Carson to the Colts, but if one more mock draft has Kyle Pitts coming to New England, I might lose my shit. By the way.
Oh, you're not gonna like my mock draft then.
Yeah. I'm going to lose my shit on you live on show. So after his mock, everybody right there, when his mock draft finally comes out, then I'm going to lose my shit on him for having Kyle Pitts.
I'm joking. My 15th, because the Patriots had the 15th pick in the draft, and this is a little sneak peek, but I have Trey Lance falling to them at 15.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So not Kyle Pitts.
No, I'm a big Trey Lance fan, and I like the move to New England because that's exactly what
I've heard a lot about Zach Wilson dropping as well.
That's not happening.
No?
No, Zach's a beast.
No, okay. What else do we have to talk about tonight?
We have to talk about
shitty segues.
Yeah, I know. Oh, we need to talk about your hatred of Urban Meyer. What's with this? I love that.
So we got to get into the coaching hirings. We're going to save Urban Meyer for last. So, Rams, defensive coordinator Brandon Staley, hired over in what used to be San Diego, other Los Angeles. He's going across the hallway.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this one?
I'm not a big fan. Here's why. I really was hoping that the Chargers would see like, hey, we've got this basically already elite young quarterback. We should probably get somebody who has like an offensive mind to kind of stimulate what we do on offense and make us a really good team. And I just hated the defensive hiring. It feels like another Anthony Lynn. I get he's really young and he's like kind of innovative with his defense, which is fine.
Didn't they promote Schottenheimer, the kid Schottenheimer?
I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure because he was the running backs coach. I'm pretty sure they made him the OC, which is a great move. Anybody with the last name Schottenheimer, great move because they're all scattered across the NFL.
I mean, maybe it'll work. I'm not a big fan.
This guy, I like the hire. Brandon Staley led the Rams to the '1 defense in the league, and it's not even close. They're first in almost everything.
Yeah, they have a lot of pieces that you could do that with in LA.
Yeah.
If they can keep Chris Harris, I don't know, but I don't know what his contract looks like. Now, going to the Falcons, who hired Arthur Smith. Off the offensive coordinator from the Tennessee Titans. It's interesting because you go from having Derrick Henry to now Todd Gurley and Ito Smith. So
is Todd Gurley signed past this year? I believe he signed the 1 year. But you have Calvin Ridley and also Julio Jones.
I don't know. I kind of like the hire. I think that means that they're going to stick with Matt Ryan just because he comes from an offense where you don't really need a quarterback that does a whole lot. You don't really need to make plays outside the pocket. You kind of can just stand in there and have a running game that's going to keep the defense honest. But I think that will mean that the Falcons will look to buff up the interior of their offensive line and probably add some running backs either in the draft or free agency because Todd Gurley's not. Chuba Hubbard, yeah. I mean, him, Najee Harris, Travis Etienne, one of those guys is going to find their way to Atlanta because they're going to become a power run team. And I think that's kind of what they need to do and focus on their defense because their defense last year was really, really bad. Gave up a lot of points, a lot of yards. So, I mean, I like the hire. I don't know if it's going to work, but we'll see. Good for Arthur Smith.
Yep. Also, Dan Campbell goes to Detroit, and I think this is the best move Detroit could have made.
Now, Dan Campbell, if I'm not mistaken, was the
assistant head coach for the Saints.
Okay, so yeah, I think it's a good move. And they did just get they hired somebody as their GM as well. I really liked.
Yeah, I don't care about GMs. I've never heard of 90% of them.
So, yeah, no, it's a good move for Detroit. Hopefully they have some kind of contingency plan if they decide not to keep Matt Stafford. They're still going to be a rebuild team. They're still going to be bad for a few more years. So
Dan Campbell's not coming in to fix that team on the play level. He's coming in to fix the culture of Detroit. Right. The culture of Detroit is to lose right now.
Yep.
He's coming in to fix that.
Yeah.
Then he'll be gone in 3 to 4 years after the culture's changed, and the next guy will finally win.
Yeah, sounds about right. So the fourth one that we need to talk about is Mr. Urban Meyer.
No, how are you going to skip Bob Salah like that?
Oh, yeah. Robert Saleh to the Jets. I love that move.
Yeah, so do I. Okay, now to Urban Meyer.
Yeah, now to Urban Meyer.
Can't just disrespect Bob Salah like that, though.
The Jacksonville Jaguars' job had to be the most enticing because you're getting Trevor Lawrence if you want him. So you already got your quarterback solved. For 15 years, you're good at quarterback. Now, Urban knows every prospect in this draft. He knows them all. He's watched the film. So his drafting is going to be...
Shad Khan does do. His drafting has been fucking phenomenal over the past 10 years.
And now he's got a coach.
I'm not worried about them drafting good players. They're always going to draft good players. That's the one thing Jacksonville can do right.
Yeah. But I think Urban, like you were saying with Dan Campbell, is a culture changer. If you look at what he did in college, he took over 3 or 4 programs where they were winning 6-7 games a year, and he takes over and they're winning 10-11. When he took over Ohio State, I don't think he lost a Big Ten game for like 3 or 4 years.
Do you know where he lost me?
Where?
His press conference.
I didn't watch the press conference. Enlighten me.
Hold that thought. Babe, do you have the other headphone? This one's dying. I'm using my wife's headphones today because mine just died, apparently. But, so he lost me in the press conference when he basically verbatim said, I'm not as young as I used to be. I'm not going to be calling plays. And I'm not going to be running around like a chicken with my head cut off on the field. So what kind of coach are you?
He's
This
like
is
I said,
NFL, dude.
he's a team builder and he's a culture changer. He'll get somebody that's young. But they also hired no, that was the Jets that hired Mike LaFleur as their
Yeah,
OC.
LaFleur with the Jets.
He'll get somebody in there as his offensive coordinator that'll, be able to design an offense around what Trevor Lawrence does best. If he decides to take Trevor Lawrence, I mean, ultimately he could get a king's ransom for that number one pick, move down a few spots and bring in Justin Fields. So you never know, being that he's an Ohio State guy.
I guarantee you they do not in any way, shape, or form pass on Trevor Lawrence.
I don't think it'll happen. It's just
I don't even think it's a
out there.
possibility.
It's out there.
I think it's bullshit. I think it's media playing bullshit.
I mean, if you think about it, if I'm the Falcons, if Arthur Smith decides that maybe Matt Ryan's not his guy and I can go get Trevor Lawrence if I move up, trade the fourth pick and a couple other first and seconds.
Was Joe Burrow the unanimous number one pick last year?
Well, yeah, of course.
But right as the season ended and going into the draft season, all of a sudden, Tua could have been the number one pick. It's just media bullshit to get people talking.
Yeah, but Trevor Lawrence is going to be the number one pick no matter what. I just don't know if it's going to be Jacksonville.
It'll definitely be Jacksonville.
But we'll see. I love the Urban Meyer hire. I was campaigning for him to go to Jacksonville. Either Jacksonville or the Chargers was my big one for him because I think he could have changed that culture too because they have a huge culture of just being average.
No, they have a huge culture of breaking a leg, literally, every single season. Their culture is to get injured.
Yeah, poor Derwin. But no, I love that. I love the move. I think Urban's going to be great in Jacksonville, depending on who he can get on his coaching staff. If you bring in like a Jason Garrett or something like that to be OC. He's not signed long term with the Giants. I don't believe so.
What is everybody's love for Jason Garrett?
Hey, Jason Garrett's not a horrible offensive coordinator. We've seen that in New York this year that he's not terrible at play calling.
Joe Judge came in and changed that culture.
There's still one guy that's hasn't signed anywhere yet. That's Eric Bieniemy.
He's going to get the Houston job because they're going to try to fix that thing with Deshaun.
I don't think
Eric
it's enough.
Bieniemy is the guy. I don't think it is either. But
They
Eric
could have a
Bieniemy
really
is
good
quote
draft.
unquote Deshaun's guy.
Yeah.
So they're
he
going to
is.
hire him specifically to try to smooth over things with Deshaun. And there's going to have to be other things that happen behind the scenes. Like I said, though, I firmly believe Deshaun plays in Houston next year.
We'll see. We will see. Real quick, I didn't want to talk about something that I was hearing. Another quarterback that could potentially either be on the move or maybe not as being as favored by their coach right now, Jared Goff.
Yes, I heard that right after the game.
Sean McVay was very, very non-committal when he was talking about Jared Goff moving forward after his performance in Green Bay. And I understand that he was efficient with the football, but when you're 21 to 27 or whatever it was, and you only have 100-something yards and a touchdown, and you lose by 12 points, you didn't play good enough. And I think Sean McVay is realizing that he kind of wants a quarterback that can make plays outside the pocket, ad lib a little bit, and that's just not what Jared Goff does. So I definitely could see. Unfortunately, he signed long term, and there's 5 years left on his deal. So I don't know where that puts LA. But
you know where I think would be good for Goff?
New England.
No, hell no. Shanahan's system.
Yeah, I think he does fit Shanahan's system. But just a recap, he was 21 to 27 for 174 yards and 1 touchdown against the Packers. It's not good enough. All
right, we got 14 minutes left. Let's preview the AFC and NFC championship games.
Let's do it. Let's start with the AFC.
I was going to say, we think alike.
Yeah,
we think alike. AFC it is. If I'm going to give you my prediction straight up, and then your prediction, and then we'll discuss.
Okay.
Point blank, if Patrick Mahomes plays, Kansas City wins. If Patrick Mahomes does not play, Buffalo wins.
100%. Completely agree.
All right.
Think. Oh, NFC?
Yes.
I have Green Bay winning. Surprise.
Yeah, big surprise. This one's a lot harder, but I'm gonna have to say Tampa Bay because that defense looked better than they have all season.
But did they? They? See, I thought about this. They had 4 turnovers. Yes, they did. 100%. But how many of those turnovers would have come against a quarterback that can throw the ball more than 20 yards? You got to think they forced the Saints to do what the Saints did not want to do. They stacked 7, 8 guys at the line of scrimmage and said, I dare you to run the ball. And then when the Saints couldn't run the ball, they had to try to force the ball downfield with Drew Brees. And Brees' arm is so shot and tired that he can't make the throws that Aaron Rodgers can still make in his sleep. So I don't think.
However, 2 of those interceptions were not actually Drew Brees' fault. The first one was straight up off of, I think it was Sanders' head. It just kind of pounced back. The second one, the receiver slipped and it went straight into the other guy's arms. I think that was Murphy Bunting specifically.
And the one to Devin White was purely on Drew Brees.
Oh, absolutely.
So I don't know. Yeah, they made Aaron Rodgers turn the ball over a few times in the last time they played him, but that was 11 weeks ago, and these are 2 very
These are not the same teams.
Yeah, no, they're not. Aaron Rodgers was actually asked on the Pat McAfee show this morning how much he thought or how much he thinks that game factors into this game, and he said just about as much as New Orleans going into Tampa and beating them 38-3.
Matt says, so you're not even giving the Bills a chance. I truly believe Allen can beat the Chiefs. No. I don't think this year.
It's not that Allen can't beat the Chiefs. It's that Allen's team can't run the football, and the Chiefs can.
Exactly.
You have to be able to run the ball in the playoffs.
Zach Moss is not who we thought he'd be.
And neither is Devin Singletary.
So you're now very one-dimensional, and against a team like the Chiefs, Stephon Diggs isn't going to get as much as you think he is. He ain't going to eat.
No. And that was my knock. I've been thinking about this Packers-Bucks game because, they did put the hurting on them the first time they played. And like you said, they're 2 different teams now. But if you look at what Tampa did against the Saints, I don't think Tampa played particularly well against the Saints. If you watch that game, again, I think that they got the short field. They got a couple of breaks of Drew Brees.
It's easy to win a game when you score 21 points off of turnovers, and the 4 turnovers, the worst field position you start is their 48-yard line.
Yeah, and you're not going to get that at home against Aaron Rodgers. So they're going to have to make some sustainable, 10, 11, 12-play drives. And on top of that, they're going to have big plays to beat Green Bay because that's what Green Bay is. They're a big play machine. Aaron Rodgers at any given moment can just chuck it
I'm a little confused by this comment, by the way. Allen may be able to beat the Chiefs, but I don't think he can beat Mahomes. So he can't beat the Chiefs.
Yeah.
What? Come on, Jay. Do better than that.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, Jay. But yeah, I'm really excited to see it. I mean, can we just take a moment to appreciate as football fans that we are actually getting to see Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers duke it out probably one last time for a chance to go to the Super Bowl?
Can we, as football fans, be pissed that we didn't get this in the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
They should have been a Super Bowl.
Thanks a lot, Devin Bostic. If you guys are real football fans, you know who that is, and you know why everybody that is a Packers fan hates him.
I love it. Absolutely love it.
Stupid Devin Bostic. But no, I have. Do you want to do a score prediction?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so I got Kansas City, 31, and I got the Bills 28. So Kansas City wins by a field goal if Mahomes plays. I think it'll be interesting. I think it'll be a big shootout between him and Allen because that's what the Bills are going to try to make it. And then on the other side, I have Green Bay 35, and I have Tampa 24.
Off the top of my head, I'm going to say Kansas City probably wins 42, 35, 36. And Tampa, I'm going to say 31-30. It's going to be a really close game.
I hope not. I don't know if my sanity can take it.
And guys, I can guarantee you on Sunday, we are going to go live at least twice.
Yeah, 100%.
If not more. And who knows how long we'll be live for? We don't, but we will be live to discuss. The first time we're going to go live, I'll tell you right now, I think it's the AFC Championship first.
Yeah, I think so.
First time we're going live is going to be halftime of the AFC Championship game. We will be live. And we'll discuss what we've seen, whether Chad fucking Henne has another miracle. We'll see.
Yeah, if Chad Henne starts, they're not winning that game.
Jays, as said, if Mahomes plays, it's a loss. If Mahomes doesn't, Bills win. So that's him clarifying his last comment.
Yep.
Which, yeah, no, that makes sense. So that last, I'll bring that one back up. Allen may be able to beat the Chiefs. That part meant if they're without Mahomes. But I don't think he can beat Mahomes. That's if they're with Mahomes. So that makes way more sense now.
Yeah, I just don't think Josh Allen's got the running game to be able to keep Mahomes off the field.
If Mahomes does play, he's not going to scramble for those extra big plays.
No, he's not. He's going to be very conservative.
So that also could potentially change the trajectory of this game.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see because Josh Allen's going in there feeling great. Their Bills team is pretty healthy, and Kansas City's kind of banged up. CEH is coming off an injury. Patty's all banged up. So we'll see.
Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson both took the hits that I've been saying they're going to take with how mobile they are. And these two hits specifically just could have changed the way they play quarterback. And if Lamar Jackson has to stop running the ball or gets too afraid to run the ball, he is not a quarterback.
Yeah, unless he can start consistently being able to throw the football.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Like I said, when you're a 10 in a department that nobody else is a 9, you can be a 6 at throwing.
All right, now we have to apologize. He doesn't appreciate us thinking he was a dummy. We have to apologize. That's
sorry,
on
Jay.
us. It's our bad.
On
me, 100%. So we got 5 minutes. Did we not cover something? Do we got everything? Like, what do we got?
I don't know. Oh, okay. What's your Super Bowl prediction then? Is Kansas City, Tampa?
Yes.
That's disgusting.
Passing of the torch.
I hate it. I have Green Bay, Kansas City.
NFL conspiracy time real quick. Tom Brady only went to the NFC so we could have this Super Bowl.
Tom Brady went to the NFC because he was running away from Deshaun Watson, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, all these guys who he did not have a good enough team to beat.
I said conspiracy time, not actual fact.
Alternative facts.
Come on. NFL conspiracy time means things that we think are for conspiracy. Conspiracy. State Farm Super Bowl. You get Rodgers versus Mahomes.
Yeah, absolutely. I seen an interesting thing on the Herd this morning. And Colin was talking about how he thinks that Green Bay is basically a little dynasty that's forming right now because of the age of quarterbacks in the NFC. And there's not many good ones. You have Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady for who knows how much longer. And outside of that, there's a bunch of question marks. And he said Green Bay's got plenty good enough team. He said I could definitely see a little dynasty happening while Aaron Rodgers is, in the back nine of his career and then moving forward with Jordan Love.
We still don't know what Jordan Love is yet.
Yeah, we don't. We have no idea. He's the best kept secret.
We can't sit there and say that the Packers are going to start a dynasty with Jordan Love.
No, he's the best kept secret in the NFL right now. Unless the Colts know something about Jacob Eason that we all don't.
I don't know. Ben DiNucci.
Yeah. Ben DiNucci.
And apparently Chad Henne was the best fucking kept secret.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Who knew about Chad Henne?
Also, another good conspiracy. Bills, Tampa Bay, for the sole reason of the real passing of the torch, Tom Brady to the AFC East, losing to the Bills. I would love that.
That would be fun to see, but no, I don't want to see Tom Brady in another Super Bowl. But I'm a known Brady hater, so Coach
Best kept secret is
Jollymore.
Coach Jollymore.
Coach Jollymore. I don't think I'd be able to take that name seriously.
I mean, I probably wouldn't be able to take it serious, and it's my name.
Yeah, Coach Jollymore. It's like Coach
All right,
Candyland.
well, at this point, we're just kind of rambling, so I'm going to do the whole prelude and get the hell out of here because dinner's ready and I'm hungry. Guys, make sure you follow us on Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You name it, we're on it. Doesn't mean we're active on it, but we're on it. And that includes TikTok, and we haven't posted on TikTok in God knows how long.
Oh, God.
No, it's been forever.
We have a
We have a
TikTok?
TikTok.
Oh, wow.
We have a TikTok. Yes, we do. We're gonna start posting on the TikTok.
It's gonna be me and Jake doing all those like popular dances.
Is that? Can we please?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. You know, if Brady wins the Super Bowl this year, you know, maybe we'll have to have some kind of wager with that.
Some TikTok dance wager.
Yeah.
All right, we're winding down here. We're gonna have a TikTok wage thing going on. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll let you go next week after the championship games. Guys, enjoy your Sunday. Make sure you join us on Sunday. Halftime of the first game. We will be live. Have a good night.
Later, guys. See you Sunday.